Hello and welcome back, YouTubers. I want to jump right into the middle of this video. I'm going to talk to you guys about three things today. I'm going to talk to you about what we saw at 2013's Consumer Electronics Show. I'm going to talk to you about Facebook's new graph search. And I'm going to talk to you guys about why I think Apple's struggling these past couple of months. With over 3,200 booths set up and 20,000 new products being showcased at CES 2013, consumers get an eye on what to see with consumer technology this year. Let's start off by talking about transportation. Not only did we see Audi, Toyota, and Ford showing off their shiny new futuristic smart cars, but we saw a very inventive side of the category as well. The Z-Board, which is a motorized skateboard, senses your weight and can propel you in the right direction at speeds up to 15 miles per hour. The Nitro electric bike, which is just what it says, it's an electric bike, will set you back $4,000, but will make bicycling a lot more fun. The Solo Wheel electric unicycle, which to me looks super cool, only costs $1,795, but it'll get you places. CES's biggest product category has to be televisions, with Samsung, Sharp, Sony, and Panasonic using CES to launch and showcase their greatest products. The big hardware feature this year for TVs at CES were 4K TVs. Now, what 4K stands for means 4 times HD resolution. Now, personally, do I think that you'll notice the difference between your 1080p HD TV and your 4K TV? Not really, unless you're looking really close at the pixels. I think that 4K TVs are basically getting a lot of news, and you're hearing a lot about them just because of the hype. The Pebble smartwatch is also a new thing that you got to look out for. This smartwatch syncs to your iPhone and or Android device, and it allows you to receive notifications and change your music through Bluetooth right on your smartwatch. The Happy Fork, I'm not real excited about this next one. The Happy Fork tallies how many bites you take at dinner time or meal time or whatever you're eating. So what it does is it tallies how many bites you eat, and it does that in order to show you whether or not you're eating too fast or you're eating too slow. And if you're eating too fast, it gives you a little vibration, and that tells you you need to slow down. Now, I honestly think the Happy Fork is worthless, but you got to talk about it because it's getting a lot of news and it's getting a lot of recognition. The Yeti 150 generator, it'll set you back $400, but it's a solar power device that allows 15 hours of power for smartphones. I want to talk about this for a minute because I use a device called a Mophie, which is a case for my iPhone, and it allows me to get about 8 extra hours of battery life, and it only costs, the cost of the cases range from $80 to $130 depending on what kind of case you want and how much power you want it to supply to your device. And it's a really simple thing. You just put it on your device like a regular case, you charge it up from the outside, and you can turn it on and off just depending on how much battery life you have on your iPhone, and it allows you to get, anywhere from 6 to 12 extra hours of battery life. They don't have any cases for the iPhone 5 yet, but I know that Mophie is coming out with iPhone 5 cases very near in the future. The next thing that I want to talk to you guys about is Facebook's new search engine. Ever since Facebook was launched, its searching tool has not been the greatest. It's been pretty limited based on the fact that you can search people's names and business names, and once you complete your search, up pops the Facebook page. However, that's about to change because last Tuesday, Facebook held a press conference at the company's headquarters to introduce its new searching engine, which they like to call Graph Search. Graph Search allows you to scour through the massive social network and gives you access to 1 billion profiles, 24 billion photos, and 1 trillion different connections to find answers to your most complicated questions. Graph Search launches immediately in a beta stage and is allowed for users who join a wait list in order to gain access to this feature. Until Graph Search is updated, it focuses on 4 main areas: people, photos, places, and interests. Now, I'm going to give you an example of what you might type into the new Graph Search. An example would be that people who like tennis and live nearby. and it would pull up people who have the interest of tennis and people who live, close by and in your vicinity. Another question that you might ask Graph Search is photos of Berlin from 1989, and it would probably pull up all the photos that it can find from Berlin from 1989. This Wednesday, January 23rd, Apple CEO Tim Cook will be on the phone with investors to discuss Apple's first quarter earnings for 2013. However, ever since mid-September of 2012, when the iPhone 5 was being released, Apple stocks have been struggling. Mid-September is when Apple shares hit $705, which was an all-time high for the 35-year-old company. However, since then, Apple shares have lost 20% of their value, and now probably even more than 20%. There are a couple causes that I think are of this. I have like a list of them, of why I think Apple shares have been declining, and why I think Apple has been depressed as a company. These are in 2012. Apple removed Google Maps from their devices and added Apple's Maps. They did not fix Siri to make it perform like Google's voice search. Apple also did a little bit of hiring and firing when it came to Apple's executives. A major example of this is iOS chief Scott Forstall, which is the guy that you see at all the Apple press conferences and in all the Apple's videos. Also, one of the things that I didn't like about Apple last year was that it released 2 full-sized iPads in the same year, which is a little depressing for me too, because I bought the iPad 3 on launch day, to come to find out that a couple months later they came out with the new iPad with Retina display, also known as the iPad 4th generation. I want to take a quick look at some of the statistics of iPhone sales. The iPhone 3GS was released in June 2009 and sold 5.2 million units in its debut quarter, 7.4 million in the September quarter, and 8.7 million devices in the December quarter, and another 8.7 million in the quarter after that. So you can see it gained sales each quarter. The iPhone 4 was released in June 2010 and sold 14 million units in the September quarter, 16.2 million in the December quarter, and 18.6 million in the March 2011 quarter. So as you can see, the iPhone 3GS and iPhone 4 have very similar sales. This is where it changes. The iPhone 4S was released in October 2011, just one day prior to Steve Jobs' death, and Apple managed to sell a whopping 37 million units in December and into 2012's year. That's a 120% jump from the last period. But over the next 2 quarters after that, the sales dropped. And analysts are expecting the same thing with Apple's iPhone 5. This is because Apple had just recently cut their sale production in half. This is causing people to speculate whether or not people are wanting the new iPhone 5, and this in return is going to result in an effect in Apple's sales and manufacturers that are making phone parts for the iPhone 5. Another quick reason why I think Apple is struggling is because in the past, Apple hasn't had a lot of competition with its iPad and its tablet market and its cellular market, but now Samsung has brought out the new Galaxy S3, and there's been hundreds and hundreds of new tablet devices out on the market when compared to when iPad first launched. So iPad still has a strong lead on its competitors, like the rival Nexus 7 and the rival Kindle Fire HD, but the big thing is that the Kindle Fire HD is $200 compared to Apple's iPad that starts at a whopping price of $499 and goes up to prices of $799 and $829. So there's a lot of competition now compared to when Apple was first releasing its great and amazing products, and it still is launching and releasing great and amazing products. It's just, however, they're not gaining as much hype when Samsung and other companies are releasing products that are cheaper and do some of the same things that Apple's products does. thanks for watching. I wanted to leave you guys with one last thing. I went and saw a new movie this past weekend called Mama. If you guys haven't heard about that or haven't seen the trailer or anything, I'll make sure to leave a link to the trailer in the description below. But don't worry about a spoiler alert. I'm not that kind of guy or anything. But I just wanted to say that it had a great storyline. And I personally didn't like it. Not because it was scary. I'm not a big scary movie guy. But I think that it could have been a whole lot better, even though that it was top in the box office for this weekend with $10 million more sales than any other movie this weekend. But I think that if you guys enjoy scary movies, that you guys should go out and see it. I'll see you guys back here hopefully next Tuesday, maybe next Wednesday. I'm going on a trip this weekend, but if I get the chance to make a video, I'll make sure that I post that within the next week or so. And I'm hoping to do these videos once a week to keep you guys updated with the new technology news. Also, just a little secret, next week I plan on showing you guys something very cool. If you haven't tried this out before, try looking through your camera while you're on the highway and look at the wheels and tires on the cars passing by and see if you notice anything funny. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, come back next week and I will show you a video and I will show you a little cool secret that I learned. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you back next week. Just one more thing, make sure you guys check out the description box below because I have links to everything that I talked about this video. If you want any more information, or if you want to see pictures of the things that I talked about from CES, or if you want the news articles about the Facebook graph search and about Apple's struggles. Thank you guys.